Welcome to the Sheffield Sunday as Bill sees it meeting. This is a main share meeting, and today it's with great pleasure, lots of gratitude, that we welcome Sharon from Washington, D.C. He's come to share for around 40 minutes, after which we'll open up for general sharing, or you can ask Sharon a question. Sharon, thank you so much for coming today, and with that, it's over to you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Sharon, recovered but never cured alcoholic. Hey, I invited a few of my angels to join the group today, and they're here to support me. I love this program of Alcoholics Anonymous because it's helping me to finally face me and grow up, opposed to running, lying, cheating, and say, you did it. That's why I did it. This a passage that I picked out of the, as Bill sees it, a foundation for life. That's what I needed. I thought I grew up with a strong foundation, a positive family with morals, scruples, principles, hardworking people, and they gave me what they had. However, it wasn't enough because they didn't know that they were rearing an alcoholic. It was just a matter of time before Sharon came out. Yeah, I can say came out, because when I came out, I burst out in so many different attitudes and behaviors. But once I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of the person that I was, and through pain, because see, sometimes the only time I learn is it has to come hard. It had to be through pain. And that's why I love when they say, give time some time. Time takes time. Remember that you didn't become an alcoholic overnight. So for you to change to be the person that my higher power, which I choose to say God wants to be, that's not going to happen overnight. And then I was also blessed to have some giants. I stand on the shoulder of giants, the old timers. I love the old timers. Even though my anniversary date is April 12th, 1989, I still know what little. And the giants, they walk with me and they taught me and they talk to me in a kind and gentle way. And I was willing to listen. Willing to listen. I didn't know it all. Because if I knew it all, I thought I knew it all. But if I knew it all, why did I end up in a state of mind of confusion, discontent, pain, misery that I ended up in? So my sponsor, and I have several more sponsors since, but my main apple scrapple, as we say here, used to say in the States, he taught me about the meditation. He said, before you go to bed at night, just sit still for self and close your eyes and think about the day, which was that 11th step, 10th step rather. 10th, 11th, I don't know, I get them confused. I'm not a big book thumper, but I do know what's going on, trust me. And when I used to try that in the very beginning, I would fall asleep at night. And I said, well, I tried to meditate, but I fall asleep. And he said, well, just keep practicing. Practicing. Hey, Tony, that's my grand sponsor. And Billy, I apologize, my main man, Rodney, too. So anyway, back to on the subject. And so through years of practice, I'm finally starting to hear that small voice, and I'll say that spirit man from within. See, I look for all the answers outside, of myself. And my sponsor used to say, Sharon, it's all inside of you. But you have to be willing to tap into that source greater than you. Listen, pay attention, and do some work. And after years of thinking that I was in control, that I had all the answers, and that I'm going to tell you what to do, you what to do. I was in pain so bad about, let's say 2-3 years ago. And I called my female sponsor. I don't know if she's in here or not, because I try not to really look at the gallery because I get off track. And I was in so much pain. She said, Sharon, you got to let it go. Because I was trying to control my 30-some-year-old daughter into doing it my way. And I had to remember when my parents tried to help me to listen, to do it their way, I was so rebellious. And I kept on doing what I thought was right, but all along it was killing me. But in the reading it says, once we encouple the prayer, the meditation, and self-examination, one day at a time, it's a day at a time, then once I related and it's interwoven, the results is an unshakable foundation for life. Now, mind you, for me, it takes work on a daily basis because I can be as arrogant as hell if I bring that old person back. Well, on top of a little bougie too. But all that does is separate me from the power from within to do the examination, to want to do the work, to bring the shovel, right, Billy? Bring the shovel to scoop away all that insanity in order to get humble. And humble for me is removing arrogance and ego, to do the work by keeping my mouth shut and realize that I am not the it girl. I don't have all the answers. I'm just another human being, not trudging the road to happy destiny. If I do what's told, I will glide the road to happy destiny. Because I'm taking self out of the equation and putting that spiritual power greater than myself to guide me. So I'll be able to stay on God, because I used to want to take fencing lessons, to stay on God for unguardable moments. And the unguardable moments is when someone says something to me and I'm like, don't you know who you're talking to? Or if I feel they're doing something to me when I'm trying to do the best I can to be humble and stay honest and open-minded, and yet they tell me, you're not doing nothing. Woo, God, you're talking about an ego deflator. But yet again, I just pick up that shovel and pick up the tools and practice recovery, which gives me, if I keep going and stop making excuses, and it's not always about I, then I can have some sense of sobriety. This is not a game for me. This is my life. I don't come here try to be on the speaker scene, the speaker circuit, and wanting to be seen and heard, and every time my hand is up, because I have something to say. No, I don't. The more I keep coming back, the more I'm learning the little that I know. which sharpens, iron sharpens iron. When I hear people like Billy, Tony, and a few other old timers that say, girl, just hang on in there, sit down, shut up, listen like the dying. Because if you knew so much, then why are you still struggling with those control issues? Oh, yes, sometimes I have sticky fingers. I got to tell on me. And other little things that is not acceptable if I say I have changed. Oh, wow. You know, I was told this too early on when I was real new. I'm still new, but real new. He said, sure, sit down and watch The Wizard of Oz. That's in the state with Judy Garland and those people. It relates a lot to Alcoholics Anonymous. I said, what? I said, okay. And then when she steps on that yellow brick road, the journey to recovery, which will give her sobriety, if she doesn't make excuses to want to think she can jump off, we call that relapsing, but that's a choice. But if she stays on the path of recovery, which will give her sobriety, which is growth and peace and serenity on a daily basis, one day at a time, one day, second, moment, minute, then we have a chance to reach Oz. But on the journey to Oz, she met 3 people. One was the cowardly lion. One was the Tin Man who didn't have a heart. It's not in correct order. And one was the Scarecrow. And the Scarecrow didn't have a brain. That's my point. And she says to him, well, why don't you talk? And the Scarecrow says, I know a lot of people that do a lot of talking, but they don't know what they're talking about. Woo! You know, put on your baseball mitt, because I'm gonna be throwing some straight balls straight to the mitt. You gotta listen and learn. And I heard that because I was there one time when I first came in. I had my hand raised all the time, knew all the answers, telling all my business, and didn't know jack. But once I kept coming back and settled down and quiet down and got into self and had sponsors to guide and lead me. And one sponsor told me, look pretty, smile, and keep your mouth shut when you go into rooms with various people. And see, I am not one to socialize. So I took on that suggestion immediately, because I have gone to several funerals in the last year. My mom, my cousins that were like brothers to me, and several other members. And I went in there, looked pretty, smiled, and kept my mouth shut. Because, see, they remember the old Sharon, the spoiled, selfish brat that wanted it her way. But I didn't know. I didn't know that was what I thought was the norm, until the pain of doing it my way hit me so bad. I was willing to come in and follow suggestions and listen to people who have practiced these principles for years, not 5, 10, 15 years. I'm talking about years, who've troubleshooted life, troubleshooted it. Even when they wanted to take a drink, they didn't take a drink, or wanted to act out on old behaviors, and just sat down, put a zipper in their mouth. And my sponsor, Doreen P., she's gone. She say, hold on and rock with it. Because sometimes that pain gets so great that I want to act out. Not necessarily in a drink, but in a behavior that is not conducive to the lady that I am today. And some of you might think this is a bunch of crunk. But trust me, I have earn my seat in sobriety. I don't take no bullshit off of people. So you better come correct. And if you don't want to hear what I got to say, then that's on you. But I am responsible to share the message of sobriety, which gives me that foundation for life to stand on with my head held high, my shoulders back, and my feet planted on solid ground. Ooh, come along, my friends. Come on. Come on board. The ride is fabulous. But you're going to have some bumps and some curves and some sadness. And I've cried a many a tear in here. Because again, mind you, this is a new way of life for me. And it's something that I'm just now experiencing. So it hurts. Because I'm so used to doing it the old way with a drink. Or a little something else on top of that drink. I'm not going to get into that. Which I thought brought me comfort. But all it did was bring me pain. Share this. Oh, I've heard so much great things. When I come to meetings, I have my little iPad, the new one. And I go into my notes section. And I have my treasure chest for life. And when I come into a meeting, and if I hear one little tidbit, the more the merrier, of course, of a direction, slow and steady wins the race, easy does it. For instance, remember my primary purpose. Don't drink no matter what. Little things, and then it gets deeper, but I don't have time to go into all that. And if I can take that note down and add it to my treasure chest, which only comes from listening like the dying, then I'm building a little encyclopedia. So when I need a reference or a spot check, inventory, or just something that will give me hope, I can refer to or go back into the Wayback Machine because I'm getting older. See the gray hairs? Came in here, young fly girl from D.C. But I'm getting older. And with old age supposed to come wisdom to know the difference. So if I need a little spot check or a little note, I pull up my notes. And I say, wow, that was a good meeting because it gave me something to want to hang on, go on, and remember my primary purpose. I'm a damn drunk and an addict. And if I think that I'm beyond or above or I know or have all the answers, I'm doomed. I was in my daughter. She moved home with me. That's a challenge within itself. She's 34 years old. She's trying. Nobody gave up on me, so I can't give up on her. And I went in her room just trying to, I don't know, I was pick up some trash or something. And she had a little bottle or a little something, I don't know what you call it, alcohol. Wine. And wine really, well, yes it was. All of it. And I looked at it. I said, wow. Ooh, wait. And they say you will recoil from it like a flame. And I recoiled from it and say, oh, not that they say. I got out of that room so fast and closed the door. Because it's still there. I still get a little thirsty. Let's say my lips get wet. But if it gets wet, go drink some water. Go get a little bit of sweet tea. Not too much sugar because I'm a diabetic. and savor that. Because if I go back out, I have 36 years. I won't get 36 years back. Like really, Tim, Sharon, you at the point you're not gonna drink no more, but your attitude, if you slip off the beam, won't be pleasant. See, I listen to what people tell me. So I'm not going to always keep it on me. I'm just trying to make a scenario on my journey of recovery, which gives me sobriety. And the basis is the foundation of life. If practiced through prayer and meditation, getting outside of self, doing the work, bringing the shovel and digging. I'm a gardener also. I threw my shoulder out trying to lift some potting soil. But you know what? It's okay. Because when I'm in the garden, that gives me peace. And how my higher power speaks back to me through giving me the flowers. I have a beautiful garden. I'm going to brag about it. The neighbors can't stand me. But I put in the work so I can get the results, which gives me the beautiful flowers. The beautiful flowers that I can sit back and enjoy. I love you all. For those who came, who I invited, God bless. And for those who I don't know, God bless. Just remember, one day at a time, even if you got to take it to a second at a time, listen, because the answers is in the power of listening, which gives us the complete thought. Thanks for letting me share. God bless. Peace.